online. On this application form, they will have to swear allegiance to Indian Constitution.
The Congress and other opposition parties have done this in the past, and it seems like you've not learnt your lesson, whether it was Chaiwala in 2014, whether it was Chaukidar in 2019. It has only served Mr. Modi's purpose every time the opposition makes a personal jibe at him.
The Prime Minister said that a Bengal government is using all its might to save the oppressor of women, a direct reference to Sheikh Shah Jahan.
These are people who have their vested interest, political interest. They have no voice of their own. They are like parrots.
Does that justify Chief Minister of the state backing Sheikh Shah Jahan?
If we stop accepting recorded history or what we find scientifically, then what do we rely on? We're not relying on theology. We're not relying on social cues. We're not relying on legal cases. We're not relying on history. Then what do we rely on?
The court has spoken. So why isn't the India bloc standing with the Hindus to denounce the DMK in the same words it denounced the BJP and Nupur Sharma?
Congress can't win a municipal council election in Tamil Nadu without the DMK ka bheek. So they have to be what they are in Tamil Nadu.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. In a surprising turn of events today, Haryana Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar, along with his entire cabinet, resigned, confirming the split between the BJP and the Jan Nayak Janata Party. Just a short while ago, Haryana got a new Chief Minister in Nayab Saini, who was earlier the state president of the BJP and is considered close to the former Chief Minister. Now, there were reports of a tussle over seat sharing that led to the worsening of the ties between the two alliance partners, the JJP being adamant on 2 seats, which the BJP was not ready to give, citing its big win in the 2019 Lok Sabha elections, winning all 10 seats on its own. 4 JJP MLAs backing the BJP new government also attended the oath-taking ceremony. So it seems there could be more in this state, which could get worse for the JJP. Overall though, ahead of the general elections, will BJP split? With the JJP help or hurt the party? We take that question to our guests in just a bit. First up, let us decode what led to the big split in Haryana. According to BJP sources, graft charges against the Chautalas and JJP ministers was one of the big reasons they wanted to break off the alliance. They feel, or at least BJP sources are indicating to us, that since they have fought as a corruption-free party, actually their image will improve because of this split ahead of polls, both Lok Sabha and of course there's the assembly elections in I as well. BJP sources further say that the former Chief Minister ML Khattar himself was not in favour of the alliance. He hasn't really been over the last few years as well. The JJP, as I mentioned, had been seeking at least 2 Lok Sabha seats, and the BJP won all 10 last time. They weren't willing to part with any this time around either. There was also no consensus on seats like the ones in Kurukshetra and Karnal, and that led to the breakup between the two partners finally. The BJP taking the call and of course going ahead and changing the Chief Minister as well. Speaking of that, let's take a look at the new Chief Minister choice by the BJP for the state. Here's a quick backgrounder on Nayab Singh Saini. Now, his political career soared when he was elected as a member of the Legislative Assembly from the Narayangarh constituency in 2014. Followed by that was his appointment as a minister in the Haryana government in 2016. In 2019 Lok Sabha elections, Nayab Singh Saini defeated his nearest rival Nirmal Singh of the Indian National Congress from the Kurukshetra constituency with a margin of over 3.8 lakh votes. And just recently, he was also appointed as the state BJP chief. So clearly, he was on the ascendancy as far as Haryana BJP is concerned. Now, there are many reasons why Saini emerged as the choice, but let me break down the top 3 reasons. Now, Saini being an OBC leader was the most significant of them. Haryana has nearly 44% OBCs. This was also a reason why he was made the state president last year, replacing Om Prakash Dhankar, a Jat. It helps BJP also neutralize Rahul Gandhi's latest pitch of a caste census, which is being used to woo OBCs in particular. Manohar Lal Khattar has been ruling the state for 10 years now and understandably had generated some anti-incumbency. That's the second big reason why the BJP went for a chief ministerial phase change. While the BJP can sail through the Lok Sabha polls riding on Narendra Modi's image, the same cannot be said about assembly elections, and therefore this decision has been done. Finally, Saini shares a good relationship with his predecessor and the other way around. Saini met ML Khattar during his stint in the RSS, and the two have been in touch ever since. They both admire each other's working styles, and that has also gone in favor of Nayab Singh Saini. But the big question we ask, and we go across to our guests in just a bit with that, will this split help or hurt the BJP? Overall, across the country, they're trying to bring a lot of NDA partners back and stitch new alliances. Here in Haryana, though, it seems they will go solo. So will it be for good or could it hurt them? That's coming up next.
मैं नायब सिंह ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं।
लोकसभा में कोई संकट नहीं है, 10 की 10 सीटें भारतीय जनता पार्टी जीतेगी, क्योंकि सभी इंडिपेंडेंट साथी वैसे ही खड़े हैं, सभी साथी मुख्यमंत्री जी के साथ।
More than unholy, I mean unholy of course, because and the kind of things which were said about the BJP by JJP at that time. But the second part is that it was an alliance of convenience.
Let's go across to our guest joining us, Tohin Sinha, national spokesperson of the BJP, Matthew Anthony, spokesperson of the Congress party joining us, Hemant Atri, senior journalist. Also with us is Sumitra Goenka, political analyst. Let me go across to Matthew first. The BJP, one, of course, has done this in other states. It's known for doing this, and it seems to do this without any, much pain as far as party leadership is concerned. And it seems like they firmly believe that this is not going to be a problem for them. This indeed could hurt the Congress party by dividing its Jat vote share, which is being talked about. What do you think, Matthew?
Shivani, good to be back in your show. Now, the question here is, when is ED and CBI going to land in Dushyant Chautala as well as other 10 MLAs' houses? It's just going to be a matter of a few hours, most likely, because you have already seen BJP saying that there was so much of corruption. Didn't BJP know all these corruptions for the last 4 years? So this is a rule by the book right now for BJP. Now the change in BJP which is happening is by the way of the same CBI ED threat itself. The BJP leaders, how much ever they are dissatisfied with the BJP, because they talk to a lot of the people in private, that they are also being monitored by the CD and DBI if they raise their voice. So there's no freedom of expression there. Whatever is being said by two people who have hijacked BJP, they have to go by it. Now,
one second. One second. I want to go one by one. You're saying this is some sort of a CBI ED influence. But I thought the BJP used that to bring people into its fold, not to cut alliances. How does that factor here?
No, this alliance as quoted earlier by one of the BJP MPs who joined us, saying that it is an alliance of convenience. Now that convenience has gone out, they have also realized that, first of all, the people of Haryana are worried about the farmers issue, the Agnivir issue, as well as the wrestlers issue, along with the unemployment and the price rise. So, and the corruption issue of JJP as well as the BJP government.
But why would they cut an alliance partner for that?
This is not a surprise. This is not a surprise for neither BJP nor any one of the people there, because this was in the cards. Now, since JJP has moved out, in order to showcase that JJP is very corrupt and BJP was clean, ED and CBI will charge sheet JJP. It's only a matter of time. That's what I'm saying. And you asked me the question about why the BJP is having a painless exercise. Who in BJP also wants to be raided by ED and CBI and go to jail of descending on a party or two people's decision? That's what I'm saying.
Okay, let me just go across to Tuhin for a quick response to that. I'll come back to you, Matthew, on how you see this playing out for both the upcoming Lok Sabha and the Assembly elections, because clearly it's going to be a reconfiguration that will have some impact, particularly because of the votes, the way they're divided in Haryana. But Tuhin, your first response of the criticism that is coming in from some quarters of what has transpired in Haryana. Some say it is because the BJP is nervous. The fact is, you changing a chief minister in itself means that all is not hunky-dory, right?
Good evening, Shivani. Good evening, everybody. Well, you have to look at it positively. For any political party to take such a big decision after 10 years on the eve of elections and to execute it effortlessly and in record time, I think, that speaks a lot about the quality of leaders we have and about the work culture of the BJP. Unlike the Congress party, where we have seen the constant fights between, Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot, where they would, voluntarily indulge in resort politics of all kinds. So I think there is a difference in work culture between the BJP and the Congress party. We do believe that the position of chief minister is not the domain of any one individual or a coterie, and that if a deserving candidate is there and if a situation is ripe and beneficial for a change, we do go ahead with the change. And that
no, so do you accept that there was a problem?
Be it Uttarakhand.
That's all I'm saying. Do you accept that there was a problem? That you were worried about upcoming elections?
No, I think let me just put it this way. For us, the winnability is the sole or the most important criteria. Yesterday, Honorable Prime Minister very lavishly praised Manohar Lal Khattar ji, and even today, I can tell you that he is one of the best performing chief ministers. Whether it is the changing the gender ratio, which was skewed heavily in favor of men. There were 872 women to 1,000 men in 2014. His diligent efforts to correct that has led to an equality in gender ratio in the births over there. The exports of from Haryana used to be somewhere in the range of 68,000 crores in 2014. That has gone up to 2,45,000 crores. So even today, I think he was a brilliant chief minister, but some decisions are taken in the interest of the party, in the interest of the state, and in the interest of the Lok Sabha performance of the BJP. And
in any case, whatever a party chooses to do is fundamentally its own internal matter. But let me go across to Hemant Attri. Who does this hurt more? The JJP is coming out, particularly because 4 of their MLAs have been spotted at the swearing in. And there was even a speculation that as many as 6 of them could join the BJP, which means that the anti-defection law wouldn't be attracted. It seems like the JJP is emerging as a big loser out of this split.
No, Shivani ji, it's not the number is not 6. It might rise up to 8 by tomorrow morning. That is a fact. Only Mr. Dushyant Chautala and his mother might remain with JJP, and rest of the people are, queuing outside the BJP's residence or the leaders that may be. Now, there are 2-3 quick points that I want to mention, but you said in your introduction. First of all, Mr. Naib Saini is not a close associate of Mr. Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar. He is single-handedly handpicked by none other than Shri Narendra Modi ji, who was General Secretary in charge of Haryana in 96-97, if you recollect. And if I get back to the humble background that this Chief Minister belongs to, he was a steno-cum-clerk in Narendra Modi's regime once he was in charge of Haryana in 96-97. That's how he started with. That is the humble background from where he takes off. Then he became a district president, youth president, Kisan Morcha, and then MLA in 2009. 2014 he became an MLA. Yes. In 2019 he became an MP. Now, he is so close to the Prime Minister, he is single-handedly handpicked by none other than the Prime Minister himself, as he did in the case of Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. That is point number 1 to, clear the score, number 1. Number 2, as far as his popularity goes, Mr. Naib Saini, his wife, Suman, she contested a Jila Parishad election last year in Narayangarh, that is her home constituency, in her home ward. Jila Parishad is a very small election. And she not only, her security deposit was not there and she came at number 4. She lost her security deposit. That is the latest as far as the chief minister goes. Now, once you asked who is the bigger loser, see, in the whole game, it is a prescripted thing. First of all, let's be very clear. This alliance, which happened in 2019, it was an alliance not of principles, it was an alliance of convenience. The way JJP came, without being even invited by BJP. BJP didn't invite them. BJP had the numbers. 41 they had their own, 8 they were having independents. It is the JJP which through Anurag Thakurji went to Amit Shah and offered their unconditional support. That is the whole background. It is completely on facts. Now, see the thing. JJP was asking for 2 seats, Hisar and Bhiwani. You tell me one thing, Shivani. You are having 10 seats on your own. And I am your post-poll alliance, not pre-poll alliance. Once you are having all the 10 parliament seats on your own, why would you part with 2 seats to me? And I am not your pre-poll alliance. I am your alliance for assembly. I am not for, parliament. And that's what precisely BJP did. They said that we are a post-poll alliance. We are for the state. And that was more than clear. It was written on the wall that BJP is, in any case, will not part with
So why
any
did
of
the
parliament.
JJP insist on this? Why do they think they did so? Knowing fully well the BJP will not part ways with any seats?
Shivani, that is very simple. See, Mr. Dushyant Chautala is also running a political party. He is number 2 player. He is having 10 seats in the assembly. How can he say, while being in alliance with the BJP in the assembly, and how he can, contest the election or he can remain away from the parliament election? He has to continue in politics, na?
No, but now the result of this split, is it going to be beneficial for them for the assembly elections? By your own estimate, the numbers of the MPs who could, the MLAs who could jump could be as high as 8. The party splits. So what did Dushyant get out of this?
Shivani ji, Dushyant and JJP in this particular parliament election, they will be simply wiped out. They will be getting not more than 5 to 10,000 votes in every parliament constituency. For the very simple reason, that's why BJP has parted with, and it is a prescripted thing. It's nothing new about it. Everybody knew. Okay. Once the parliament election comes, BJP can't carry on with them because they will ask for seats, being a political party. And BJP is, Modi ji is very, very particular about each and every seat. And he has been in charge of Haryana for so long. He knows every constituency in Haryana. He knows the pulse of people. And you know why Mr. Khattar has been replaced? There was a pre-poll survey conducted by BJP and RSS. Of course, Manohar Lal Khattar is a close RSS fellow. He has been working all through for the RSS. The outcome of the whole thing, this survey, there were 2-3 surveys. And it was astonishing for Mr. Modi also. As per that survey, as per my sources, which are very close to the powers that be, they said Mr. Modi's popularity in Haryana is 70%. And Mr. Manohar Lal Khattar's unpopularity in Haryana is 70% plus. That's why, despite being all those lavish praises that were, given by Mr. Prime Minister yesterday only in Budgawa, Manohar Lal Khattar was changed overnight because Modi ji can't take chances. Every seat is crucial for him. That's why overnight, after all those lavish praises, Manohar Lal Khattar was, told to go immediately without any nuisance. But there is one more thing, one more small thing, Shivani, for your benefit of your viewers. First time in Modi Shah's regime, there is one thing coming out. First time, after the decision of the observers that were sent by the center, their senior most leader in Haryana, Anil Vij, is not happy.
Yes.
He didn't attend the swearing ceremony
today. Yes.
And he came out of that meeting. He was trying that he should come back to the, but he never came back. He is really sulking in his own way. This is first time, which has never happened in last 10 years.
No, I think the fact that some leaders have not liked some decision has happened in the past, and we all know it. They may not speak publicly and lash out against the party or its leadership, even if they don't like certain decisions. That's the key difference with, let's say, the BJP and some other parties. But Sumitra, I want to come to you as well. Given what Hemant Attri and others are saying and reading into the situation, what do you think? Did the JJP make a mistake, or do you think in the long term they've done what they needed to do to secure at least what they could for the assembly elections?
Yeah, Shivani, good evening. So I think this was a very tactical alliance which happened in Haryana. No one was actually expecting this to happen 4.5 years ago. And what has happened now is BJP has done a very good thing by bringing in a common man, an OBC candidate. They have said that a person who has come from a very humble background has grown the ranks and directly become the CM today. So it is a possibility in the BJP, which when even Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh and MP also happened, people across the country knew that they are selecting leaders as their chief ministers who probably are not coming from a very dynastic background, or they are very big leaders, but somebody from the grassroots. And this is appealing to the people that anybody can grow there and you don't need a dynastic background. Secondly, it is a master stroke because Rahul Gandhi is continuously attacking the OBC vote bank. So basically, this is a master stroke in that way that BJP has, with its actions, given a OBC candidate as a chief minister of the state.
Okay.
Now coming to this JJP thing. I think Mr. Chautala has his own reasons. Like Mr. Atri also said, he has his own reasons. He has to appeal to his vote bank. He cannot contest the election, with BJP, without BJP. So, एक तरह का धन संकट type का है because he has his own party to run. But yes, I think he should have sticked on with the BJP in the long run because he will do a mistake if he doesn't go ahead, because that is something which would have assured him presence at least in the state. But now with him moving away and his MLAs, some of the MLAs showing support to the BJP, I think he is not going. We are not going to see him.
Okay.
Become successful in the long run.
Yeah, the question
So
that faces
from
the
his side.
JJP is whether they had more to lose if they weren't going to contest the Lok Sabha election seats in Haryana, or will they have more to lose now if the party could split and their MLAs could leave, and for the assembly elections in Haryana, where they could have at least maybe this time fought jointly with the BJP. But that's a question that the JJP will have to face, and I think soon they will come out with some statements about how they read the situation for themselves. But Matthew, I want to come back to you. That OBC factor that Sumitra also mentioned is a key one. Along with that is the Jat vote factor in Haryana. Don't you think, even though the Congress has nothing to do with this decision making or the alliance, this could make life tougher for you?
I think this is very clearly communicating that the ground is very much in favor of Congress. Because the change of Manohar Lal Khattar is very clear that the winnability quotient with them is looking very bleak. And now, just before the elections, changing a phase also shows the desperateness in BJP to win the elections. Now, we have very clearly communicated what's our stand on the caste and the caste surveys and the caste equations and bringing social equality amongst the OBCs. We have also made our stance very clear on the farmers issue by promising an MSP for the farmers as soon as we get elected to form the government in 2024. Where the wrestlers issue, as well as, we have also made it clear that the Agniveer scheme will no longer be there as we are getting elected. These are the fundamental issues which are there in the state of Haryana for the local people there. How much ever you now to try to juggle this in the last moment, people are convinced about what is really affecting them. Along with that, unemployment is an issue. Along with that, price rise is an issue. We are focused on that one. And as I said, why I made a remark on the ED and CBI, you can see the reason why 8 of the JJP MLAs are switching sides to BJP. Because they're already trapped in a corruption. So if at all they don't switch, they'll be under jail.
But you're accepting that they have corruption problem. Then it's good only if they get CBI and ED after them.
It is good for us because the entire government was headed by BJP in an alliance with them. So it is good for us to have the government in a corrupt stand because the people will vote for us.
Okay,
everything happening in Haryana is good for us.
Is good for you. Okay, let's see how this plays out. But Tuhin, what is the big message out of this? Rejig, reshuffle, and a split. It may happen seamlessly for the BJP. That's fine. But what is the public supposed to take out of this?
See, unlike the Congress party, which has become habituated to losing, we are constantly working on self-improvement. We are constantly working on initiating corrective measures to make sure that we continue the winning habit. I was just hearing the Congress. I don't know where the Congress how they tend to be so conceited when they never cease to. They keep losing every election. I don't know how they manage to be so conceited, but I can tell you over here that Haryana is the only state which is buying a massive number of 14 crops on MSP. No other state is doing that.
Okay.
So I don't know from where they get their data and from where they paint this picture of people being unhappy. They introduced a scheme called Parivar Pehchan Patra, where all of 397 schemes of the government was brought under one head, and all the benefits are duly provided with people sitting at home. That has led to a huge convenience for all Labhartis.
Okay.
And finally, as I mentioned to you, the gender ratio, which has improved, the mission merit in the Congress days, not only transfer posting, but also government jobs used to require a fair amount of transfer of cash, and corruption was very prevalent of that. All of that has ended in Haryana in the last 9 to 10 years.
The public will be the judge of
so
that.
I don't know where the Congress gets this.
But certainly this hasn't happened because everything was fine. Now, who is playing on the front foot or who's on the back foot after this split and the new swearing in? We'll have to wait and see. Some developments, it seems, are still in store in Haryana. Picture abhi baki hai, as they say. It's not all over just yet ahead of the next general elections. I do thank all of our guests for joining us. I'm switching away to some breaking updates now coming in. The Congress's second list of candidates has come out, taking you through to some of the big names. Nakul Nath will contest from Chhindwara, Vaibhav Gehlot from Jalore. So these are ex-Chief Minister's sons in contest. But Kamal Nath and Ashok Gehlot are sitting out of these Lok Sabha elections. Remember, there has been big speculation that some of the big guns, some of the big names, veterans of the Congress party are unwilling to fight the next Lok Sabha elections. What is the message that goes out from there? Let me also go across to my colleague Pallavi Ghosh joining us with more on this. Pallavi, what's the big message you think coming out?
Well, the big message, of course, is what the Congress party has often been accused of, and that is Parivarvad or Dynasty. In fact, at a Central Election Committee meeting which took place yesterday, despite the fact that top leadership, whether it's Sonia Gandhi or whether it's the Congress president, have been pitching for the fact that senior high-profile leaders should be contesting the Lok Sabha, all of them refused to do so. The former Chhattisgarh CM Bhupesh Baghel, of course, is contesting, but Ashok Gehlot refused to do so on the grounds that he is unwell. He pitched for his son Vaibhav Gehlot, who actually abandoned the family bastion of Jodhpur to go to Jalore. He had lost last time round from Lok Sabha. Kamal Nath is not contesting. A sitting MP, his son Nakul Nath, is contesting. Digvijay Singh also refused to contest on the grounds that he wants to look after a campaign in Madhya Pradesh. So I think the big story which really comes out of it is in the second list of the Congress party, whatever the top leaders have been asking for has not been followed, and therefore the big leaders of the party have refused to contest the Lok Sabha elections.
We're also getting some more names that have come in. So, of course, as Pallavi was mentioning, you've got Nakul Nath and Vaibhav Gehlot, the big update that is coming in, and you've got Gaurav Gogoi from Jorhat in Assam. Has there been some of the, given what has happened as far as this list announcement is concerned, Pallavi, there are also speculations for some other big names, even for somebody like Priyanka Gandhi. Is there indeed some problems within the Congress party in convincing some of their big names to come out and contest the next Lok Sabha elections? Pallavi, could you hear me?
Question, please. Yeah, so the UP CEC has yet to be held, but the UP screening committee meeting did end around the end of this week, and the recommendation which went in from the UP screening committee was that the Gandhis must contest from Amethi or Raebareli. So the pressure is certainly mounting on Rahul Gandhi. So far, the next CEC is likely to be on Uttar Pradesh. It's not an easy decision or choice to make, but for now, the feelers or the feedback going in from the Congress party is that one of the Gandhis will contest, most probably Rahul Gandhi Gandhi could contest from Amethi. The problem is that last time round he had lost from here to Smriti Irani. Can the Congress afford to take that risk? As we already know, Rahul Gandhi is going to be contesting from Wayanad. Amethi is a seat which has been with the Gandhi family except for some intervals, and this time round there will be a clarity soon in the CEC meeting on whether both Priyanka Gandhi Vadra as well as Rahul Gandhi will be contesting from Amethi and Raebareli.
Right. Shireen Elizabeth is also joining us. Shireen, give us more details of what is coming out. What's the big headline coming out of the second list announcement by the Congress party?
Well, 4 state list has in fact been announced. This is the second list of candidates that has been announced by Congress so far. The next CEC on 15th of March is what we are being told right now. Now, in this particular list, what is to be really focused on is how there are the sons of the senior leaders like Ashok Gehlot's son, Vaibhav Gehlot. Apart from that, Kamal Nath's son, Nakul Nath. These two people have in fact been contesting. Fact of the matter is that there has in fact been a lot of pressure that was put in, a request that was also made as far as Ashok Gehlot and Kamal Nath is concerned that they should contest. But what we are seeing at the moment in Congress party is that the number of the senior leaders are shying away from contesting in the Lok Sabha elections. What is the reason? Why are they not really stepping up? As far as Lok Sabha election is concerned, that is, of course, we have to ask the Congress leadership. But even after number of appeals that has been made by the Congress leadership, it seems that the senior leaders are in fact opting out of the Lok Sabha election. Instead, they are asking for their son to be contested. So right now, we are seeing majorly Gaurav Gogoi is going to be contesting from Jorhat. Other than that, the big names that are coming in is Vaibhav Gehlot from Jalore, and from Chhindwara, it is going to be Nakul Nath. Now, yesterday, Rahul Kaswan, who was the sitting BJP MP from Churu, joined Congress. So he has also been given the seat from Rajasthan. So this is the highlight of the second list that has been now released by the Congress party.
Okay. All right, Shireen. Thanks a lot for joining us. Let's move on to the other big updates that we've been tracking. Now, a day after the notification of the rules of Citizenship Amendment Act, the Ministry of Home Affairs launched a web portal to facilitate the process of applying for Indian citizenship under the law. It will also launch a mobile application, CAA 2019, for the same to be completed via mobile phones. Now, the web portal enables eligible applicants, persecuted refugees of 6 communities, Hindus, Christians, Sikhs, Jains, Buddhists and Parsis, who have come from Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan to apply for Indian citizenship. And under this law, remember, those who came to India on or before December 31st, 2014 can apply. Celebrations have erupted moments after the rules were notified last evening. The opposition, though, is still fuming over the notification. They've called it a poll gimmick and a move to hoodwink the voter. Let's take a look at what the law said in 2019 and what the new notification says in 2024. Now, there are some easing of norms. Earlier, a Pakistan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan passport was needed to apply for the citizenship. The notification now says that, for example, just a birth certificate will suffice as a proof. Residential permit was earlier needed, the one that is issued by India. It was considered a must. The notification now says that proof of grandparents or parents from these 3 countries will be enough to make the application now. The law earlier said certificate of knowledge of 8 scheduled languages was a must. The notification now says declaration of ability to speak language will be enough for applying for citizenship. The law also earlier said that applications must be made to the district collector, but the rules have now been changed once the rules have been notified. Now there is an empowered panel that will take a final call and not just the district collector. Let me just also break down some of the documents that can be used now to apply for the citizenship. As I mentioned, norms have been eased. So, a copy of passport from Afghanistan, Pakistan, Bangladesh is valid. Registration certificate or a residential permit is valid. But even a birth certificate from any of these countries will do. A school or higher education certificate will also be applicable. In fact, any ID document that you can provide from these 3 countries will now be taken. A license or a certificate, for example, that has been issued in any of these countries. Land or tenancy records that these persecuted refugees can provide for. Documents on parentage. Now, this could be an important one from Afghanistan, Bangladesh and Pakistan. This is, of course, to judge their lineage. And any document, for that matter, that has been issued by any of these authorities or any authority in these countries will now be okay. Let's take a look at some special reports from various states where a lot of these migrant communities have been staying that are rejoicing now after the rules have finally been notified.
We are in Thakurbari of Thakurnagar, where the All India Mathua Mahasang's headquarters is. After the CA announcement all through the day for the last 2-3 days, this has been the enthusiasm of the people. Now, who are the Mathuas? Mathuas are those Namasudras SC who have come from Bangladesh and are refugees. They did not get any identity here in Bengal, and that's why they were fighting for more than 50 years. That's what Shantanu Thakur said. Let me tell you, 5 to 6 constituencies of Bengal is heavily affected by Mathuas. You can see that they are very much happy. आप बहुत खुश हैं आज?
हम लोग बहुत खुश हैं। हम लोग को सीए मोदी जी, अमित शाह जी जो बात किया, हम लोग को जो गारंटी दिया है, जे पश्चिम पाकिस्तान से, पूर्व पाकिस्तान से जितना भी हिंदू, मुस्लिम, क्रिश्चियन और हिंदू और क्रिश्चियन, यहूदी जो सनातन धर्मी हिंदू लोग जो भारत में आया, लेकिन कांग्रेस सरकार इतना दिन हम लोग को सिटीजन नहीं दिया।
खुश हो? क्यों? हमारा तो पासपोर्ट करना चाहिए, तो मेरा का से 16,000 टका चाहिए। तो आप जो मेरा पासपोर्ट
आप कितने साल में आए यहाँ पे? कौन से साल में आए?
1999 साल से।
99।
हाँ।
तो आपके पास अभी वोटर आईडी कार्ड है?
हाँ।
तो आपका क्या प्रॉब्लम है?
हमारा चाहिए जो हमारा बाबा का प्रूफ चाहिए, हमारा बाबा के मृत्यु का सर्टिफिकेट चाहिए।
तो वो पासपोर्ट करने के टाइम में मांगता है। तो ये आपके लिए अच्छा हुआ
सी अच्छा है। तो ये तो लगेगा नहीं, हम नागरिकत्व होएगा तो मेरा कागज पत्र जमा जाएगा तो पासपोर्ट हो गया।
भारत में मेरा पिताजी ने आया था 1958। मेरा जन्म इधर ही है। तो
आप लोग के आपके पापा के पास तो सिटीजनशिप ये है, मतलब वोटर आईडी कार्ड है?
थे, अभी भी है, मेरा भी है, सब कुछ है।
तो फिर ये इससे क्या ज्यादा मिलेगा?
इससे ज्यादा अच्छा है क्या, ऑल वर्ल्ड में जितना कंट्री है सभी कंट्री में एक सिटीजनशिप होता है, एनआरसी होता है, लेकिन हमारा इंडिया में वो नहीं है। लेकिन अभी जो मोदी जी जो किया है और जो अमित शाह जो किया है, जो सबके लिए एनआरसी चाहिए, कितना आदमी है सभी के लिए, हर पर्सन के लिए एनआरसी कार्ड मिल जाएगा।
आप लोग बीजेपी को वोट दोगे?
हाँ जरूर बीजेपी को वोट।
मथुआ हो?
मथुआ हो।
कब आए आप?
हम तो हमारा तो जन्म तो ये होगा, हमारा पिताजी आए 20 साल।
तो आपके पास वोटर आईडी कार्ड है, तो आपका क्या प्रॉब्लम है?
तो वोटर आईडी कार्ड तो हमारा पासपोर्ट है। मेरे पासपोर्ट जब बनाने गया था तो मांग रहा था, तो हमारा डॉक्यूमेंट्स मांग रहा था, डॉक्यूमेंट्स सब सारे डॉक्यूमेंट्स दे दिया। उसके बावजूद मेरे पासपोर्ट नहीं हुआ क्योंकि वो पैसा मांग रहे हैं। जो तुम्हारा पैसा देना है, वोटर आईडी कार्ड है, आधार कार्ड है, सब कुछ देखा है, जो जन्म का कार्ड है, जो सिटीजनशिप के लिए तो कार्ड देखा है, तो पैसा मांग रहे हैं।
अभी इसमें क्या मतलब सुस्ती मिल रहा है?
सुस्ती मिलेगा, सबको मिलेगा हमको, क्योंकि हमारा जो सिटीजनशिप है कार्ड जब मेरे हाथ में ला।
आप लोग अप्लाई कर रहे हो आज से?
हाँ अप्लाई कर दिया।
आपने अप्लाई कर दिया?
नहीं, आपने नहीं किया, आपने बाद में करूँगा।
कब आए आप?
हम तो यही से, मेरा जन्म यहीं पे हुआ। ठीक है।
पापा
पापा
बांग्लादेश का?
नहीं बांग्लादेश का नहीं, मेरे
पापा भी यहाँ से हैं। तो आप लोगों को क्या प्रॉब्लम था? आप तो यहाँ पे पैदा हुए हो।
प्रॉब्लम हम लोगों को नहीं, देखिए एक जो सिटीजनशिप कार्ड है वो सब देश की होती है, एक कार्ड होती है ना, वो उससे सब कुछ होता है। अभी जो मेरे भाई ने बोल रहा था कि वो जो पासपोर्ट करने के लिए जो कार्ड मांग रहा है, वो प्रमाण वो चाहती है ना हम लोगों से, वो जो अगर मेरे पास वो कार्ड होता ना, सिटीजनशिप का कार्ड होता, तो कुछ नहीं मांगता, कुछ नहीं जरूरत होता, वो एक कार्ड से सब कुछ हो जाता। वो उस कार्ड के लिए सीए है और इसके लिए सब कुछ हो रहा है। ठीक है,
कुछ भी हो जाए, इसको वोट आप देंगे इस बार?
एकदम वोट मोदी जी को देंगे। मोदी जी सब कुछ कर रहे हैं। मोदी जी जो कर दिया, वो गठबंधन भी गट हो गया और ममता बनर्जी फिनिश हो जाएगा।
मोदी सड़ा
He's saying he has come from Bangladesh during the 71, after 71, but he has not got, he has this voters card, but all of them are saying that whenever they were applying for passport, at that point of time they were having problem before, because that time where they were born and all those things were asked and they did not have that thing, there where lies the problem, and that's why they feel that even when they have voters cards today, the fact that the CA has come up, they are happy.
सीए
लागू होने का जश्न क्या होता है, ये तस्वीरें आप जयपुर की देखिए। जयपुर में ये पाकिस्तान विस्थापितों की बस्ती और यहाँ पर नाच गाना शुरू हो गया है, ढोल नगाड़े बज रहे हैं। यहाँ पे देखिए ढोल की थाप पर यहाँ अभी देखिए कि किस तरीके से झूम रहे हैं। ये सब वो पाकिस्तान विस्थापित है जो पाकिस्तान से आए हैं, अलग अलग धर्म में आए हैं, हिंदू शरणार्थी हैं, जो जिनको अब नई जगह की नागरिकता मिलेगी। तो इसलिए जाहिर तौर पर खुश हो सारे लोग इसको उत्साह से नाच गाने खड़े हुए हैं और भारत माता की जय के साथ आप देखिए कि यहाँ जमकर यहाँ नारे भारत माता की जय के साथ नारे के साथ हर कोई खुश है, छोटे से लेकर बड़े से लेकर बच्चे तक। आप सबके अंदर ये खुशी है, एक दूसरे को मिठाई खिलाई जा रही है। आप देखिए कि ये खुशी का उत्साह, यहाँ बच्चों को बड़ों को सबको मिठाई खिलाई जा रही है। ये खुशी का माहौल आप देख सकते हैं कि यहाँ जो तस्वीरें आपको नजर आ रही है ये काफी कुछ कह रही है।
बहुत खुशी का माहौल है। आप देख सकते हैं कि छोटे बड़े सब बहुत खुश हैं। मोदी सरकार का, गवर्नमेंट सरकार का बहुत धन्यवाद कर रहे हैं। बहुत खुशी का माहौल है।
हम तो पहले भारत माता की जय बुलाएंगे, उसके बाद मोदी जी का भारत माता की, भारत माता की जय।
ये मोदी की गारंटी है, आज मोदी की गारंटी पूरी हुई है। मोदी जी ने, अमित शाह ने गारंटी दी थी, आज पूरी हो गई है।
भारत माता की। हम तो तहे दिल से मोदी जी का और अमित शाह जी का शुक्रिया अदा करेंगे। पूरे जितने भी पाक विस्थापित लोग आए हुए उनकी तरफ से हम मोदी जी का और अमित शाह जी का धन्यवाद करते हैं, जिन्होंने ये खुशी का फल दिया है। जो हम 4-5 साल से इंतजार कर रहे थे सीए कानून का, वो सीए कानून लागू कर दिया। इससे हमारे अंदर बहुत खुशी है। जो 30 साल 35 साल से हरियाणा में, जैसलमेर में, जोधपुर में बिना नागरिक के, बिना आईडी के रह रहे थे, आज उनको भारत सरकार ने ये राइट दिया है अपने कहने जीवन जीने का। और बच्चे देखो, ये छोटे छोटे बच्चे हैं, ये बिना स्कूल के हैं, इनके पास आईडी नहीं है, आधार कार्ड नहीं है, तो बच्चे स्कूल नहीं जा पा रहे। हम अमित शाह जी और मोदी जी है ये कहते हैं जल्द से बच्चों को एडमिशन दिलाया जाए ताकि बच्चे स्कूल जाएं। पेरेंट्स, माँ बाप बहुत परेशान है। तस्वीरें आप देखिए, तस्वीरें खुशी की तस्वीरें, जाहिर तौर पर हर खुशी से झूम रहे हैं, नाच रहे हैं।
See, a lot of people are celebrating here after the CA rules have been notified. Before I go to the ground celebrations, we have with us one of the leaders of the community with us. Sir, आपका क्या नाम है?
मेरा नाम सोना दास है।
ये जो नियम आए हैं कि अब नागरिकता मिलेगी आप लोगों को, इससे क्या लग रहा है, आप लोगों को क्या फायदे मिलेंगे?
देखो, भारतवासी जो भी हमारे 140 से भारतवासी हैं, 140 करोड़, जैसे उनको मूल सुविधा मिलती है, राशन कार्ड है, पैन कार्ड है, बैंक का खाता, बच्चों की स्कूल पढ़ाई के लिए जैसी भी उनको सुविधा मिलती है ऐसी हमको मिलेगी। तो इसी में हमारी जो नागरिकता जो मिली है, गले का फंदा हमारे से निकला है। तो अभी खुशी की बात है, हमारे बच्चे बहुत सारे जो हैं खेल कूद रहे हैं, बहुत खुशी की है।
कब से आप लोग यहाँ पे रह रहे हैं? कितने?
सबसे पहले मैं आया था 2011 में।
2011
हाँ, सबसे 11 में मैं पहले आया।
तो उम्मीद है कि आप लोगों को नागरिकता मिल जाएगी यहाँ?
हाँ, बहुत खुशी की बात है। रात को कल जो देश के हमारे प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी, अमित शाह जो है, उनको दिल से भावना से हम सब भावना से दुआ कर रहे हैं, परमात्मा उनकी जो है आयु बने रहे।
The leader of the community speaking on behalf of all of them that the kind of facilities they are waiting for to get from the government. And see, on-ground celebrations are on here since late evening yesterday, where people have been celebrating because they are expecting that when the citizenship status comes to them, it will also bring a lot of remedies and a lot of schemes of the government which they could not be useful, which couldn't be useful for them. But now they are expecting that schemes like getting ration from the government and being able to vote for the in the elections. So these are certain rights that they are looking forward to, that they will be able to get now if they get the citizenship status in India.
Co-powered by
people. There are other formats also available. So with the application, they will have to specify where they came from, the country of origin, the religion that they follow. As far as documentation is required, the schedule IA that has been mentioned, schedule 1A, which has been mentioned as part of the Gazette notification, says that two sets of documents are required. One to prove your nationality, and second, to prove that you came to India before the cutoff date of December 2014. So what can these documents be? As far as the documentation to prove your nationality is concerned, passport from your original country, some kind of a birth certificate from your original country, or any government document from your country of origin, which is Bangladesh, Afghanistan or Pakistan, is acceptable. Now one might ask that if these are persecuted minorities, if they have fled from their country, how is it that they will have these documents? So one has to understand that this is a situation where we are talking of people who have been in India for the last 10 years, at least, because 2014, like I said, is the cutoff date. When they came to India, most of them came on long-term visa. For example, I spoke to some people who are in Rajasthan, who fled from Pakistan, but they came to India on the pilgrimage visa. Similar instances are found in Majnu Ka Tila area of Delhi as well. So these are people who took a 7-day visa or a 15-day visa saying that we want to do Kumbh Mela or we want to visit places of pilgrimage. So when they came and they got that visa, they had their passport and they had their visa stamped as well. There is no renewal for passport that these people required, because within 1 month of coming to India, as per existing norms, they had to go to the local FRRO, the Foreigners Registration Office, and say that I don't want to go back to my country because I fear persecution. Now, under the new rules, even that FRRO slip whereby you have communicated and FRRO has acknowledged your communication, even that is being accepted by Government of India. And because based on that FRRO slip, you were given a long-term visa, so the process of documentation is already there. Some people, because they've been in India for so long, have gotten their children admitted into schools. In the school admission form, their country of origin is mentioned as Pakistan, Bangladesh or Afghanistan. They've got their Aadhaar cards based on their long-term visa. Those Aadhaar cards have been linked to bank account, bank documents. All of these are acceptable documents now. So for this group which came to India before 2014, life will be much simpler, it will be much easier. But they hope and they feel that there are many in these colonies, refugee camps of Jaisalmer, refugee camps of Majnu Ka Tila. The exodus from these countries continue. From these 3 countries, people have come in 2016, 20, 22, and people I spoke to, those who are benefiting from the new CAA rules, say that we will definitely pray that this day comes in the lives of our other brethren as well. But of course, Indian government will have to take a call. For now, people who came before 2014 December can avail of Indian citizenship under the new Citizenship Amendment Act rules. Citizenship Amendment Act rules have finally been framed and notified. This means that people from Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh who came to India before December 2014 and who want to now be called Indian citizens, they now know how to go about the process. There is a portal that is being notified by the Ministry of Home Affairs, which means the entire job application process will happen online. On this application form, they will have to swear allegiance to Indian Constitution, to India and its people. There are other formats also available. So with the application, they will have to specify where they came from, the country of origin, the religion that they follow. As far as documentation is required, the Schedule IA that has been mentioned, Schedule 1A, which has been mentioned as part of the Gazette notification, says that 2 sets of documents are required. One, to prove your nationality, and second, to prove that you came to India before the cutoff date of December 2014. So what can these documents be? As far as the documentation to prove your nationality is concerned, passport from your original country, some kind of a birth certificate from your original country, or any government document from your country of origin, which is Bangladesh, Afghanistan or Pakistan, is acceptable. Now one might ask that if these are persecuted minorities, if they have fled from their country, how is it that they will have these documents? So one has to understand that this is a situation where we are talking of people who have been in India for the last 10 years, at least, because 2014, like I said, is the cutoff date. When they came to India, most of them came on long-term visa. For example, I spoke to some people who are in Rajasthan, who fled from Pakistan, but they came to India on the pilgrimage visa. Similar instances are found in Majnu Ka Tila area of Delhi as well. So these are people who took a 7-day visa or a 15-day visa saying that we want to do Kumbh Mela or we want to visit places of pilgrimage. So when they came and they got that visa, they had their passport and they had their visa stamped as well. There is no renewal for passport that these people required, because within 1 month of coming to India, as per existing norms, they had to go to the local FRRO, the Foreigners Registration Office and say that I don't want to go back to my country because I fear persecution. Now, under the new rules, even that FRRO slip whereby you have communicated and FRRO has acknowledged your communication, even that is being accepted by Government of India. And because based on that FRRO slip, you were given a long-term visa. So the process of documentation is already there. Some people, because they've been in India for so long, have gotten their children admitted into schools. In the school admission form, their country of origin is mentioned as Pakistan, Bangladesh or Afghanistan. They've got their Aadhaar cards based on their long-term visa. Those Aadhaar cards have been linked to bank account, bank documents. All of these are acceptable documents now. So for this group which came to India before 2014, life will be much simpler, it will be much easier. But they hope and they feel that there are many in these colonies, refugee camps of Jaisalmer, refugee camps of Majnu Katila. The exodus from these countries continue. From these three countries, people have come in 2016, 20, 22, and people I spoke to, those who are benefiting from the new CAA rules, say that we will definitely pray that this day comes in the lives of our other brethren as well. But of course, Indian government will have to take a call. For now, people who came before 2014 December can avail of Indian citizenship under the new Citizenship Amendment Act rules. Citizenship Amendment Act rules have finally been framed and notified. This means that people from Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh who came to India before December 2014 and who want to now be called Indian citizens, they now know how to go about the process. There is a portal that is being notified by the Ministry of Home Affairs, which means the entire job application process will happen online. On this application form, they will have to swear allegiance to Indian Constitution, to India and its people. There are other formats also available. So with the application, they will have to specify where they came from, the country of origin, the religion that they follow. As far as documentation is required, the Schedule IA that has been mentioned, Schedule 1A, which has been mentioned as part of the Gazette notification, says that two sets of documents are required. One, to prove your nationality, and second, to prove that you came to India before the cutoff date of December 2014. So what can these documents be? As far as the documentation to prove your nationality is concerned, passport from your original country, some kind of a birth certificate from your original country, or any government document from your country of origin, which is Bangladesh, Afghanistan or Pakistan, is acceptable. Now one might ask that if these are persecuted minorities, if they're...
Welcome back. The Madhya Pradesh High Court on Monday gave permission for an ASI survey of the temple Kamal Mola Mosque complex in Dhar. Now, Hindus consider the Bodhshala a temple of goddess Vagdevi, while Muslims treat it as a mosque. The court has directed that a 5-member committee of ASI members headed by the director or additional director of the ASI should be formed, and a report needs to be submitted within 6 weeks. Now, tensions have prevailed in Dhar several times over this issue, especially when Basant Panchami falls on a Friday, as Muslims and Hindus both queue up to offer prayers. In September last year, security had to be beefed up in the area after an idol of Vagdevi was placed inside the ancient building. Now, Bodhshala is one of many such disputes that have been ongoing over religious places. After the resolution in Ayodhya, clearly it's not just Kashi and Mathura, but even other places that have come under the scanner. Will it stop at 3 temple reclamations or 3,000 is another question on everyone's mind. Well, only time will tell, but take a look at this special report from one of the primary dispute sites being in Mathura. What do people there feel about such cases? Even as the euphoria around the Ram Temple Pran Pratishtha in Ayodhya was at its peak, cases of the other two big temple reclamations in India, Mathura and Kashi, have also been picking up pace, at least in courts. Now, it may seem that this is happening because of the Ayodhya effect, or even perhaps because of the impending general elections. The reality, though, also is that a lot of these cases have been pending in courts for a very long time, some of these petitions pending for many decades. Now, in Mathura most recently, Allahabad High Court ordered a survey of the Eidgah site quite on the lines of the Gyanvapi Mosque in Kashi, only for the Supreme Court to, at least for now, stay that order.
But that hasn't stopped politicians or saints from bringing the focus back to the pending dispute of Kashi and Mathura.
एक बात तो मैं स्वयं समझता हूँ कि पहले से ही यह प्रार्थना सब लोगों से की जाती रही है कि केवल इन 3 मंदिरों को हम लोग पूर्ण तरह से विमुक्त कर सके, इतनी हमारी आकांक्षा है। तो इसलिए इन मंदिरों का भी कभी न कभी मुक्त होना स्वाभाविक लगता है और मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि न्याय की प्रक्रिया से यह काम निश्चित रूप से आसान होगा।
Now, out of the 3, the Mathura case is possibly the most complex because in this case exists a 1968 agreement between the Janamsthan Seva Sangh and the Shahi Eidgah, which divided the current land into its present form. Now, that agreement is challenged by the Krishna Janmabhoomi Trust on the grounds that the erstwhile Seva Sangh, which is today the Sansthan, had no powers or locus standi to enter into this agreement and divide the land.
जिनने किया न तो ट्रस्ट ने उनको ऑथराइज किया, मतलब ऑनरशिप ट्रस्ट में होती है, एक बॉडी होती है। बड़े ट्रस्ट जो है वो अपना जो है रूटीन वर्क को देखने के लिए एक मैनेजिंग कमेटी और लोकल बना देते हैं और उसका रिन्यूअल करते रहते हैं हर 2 साल बाद। लेकिन वो जो है डे टू डे रूटीन वर्क है उनको करने के लिए उनको ऑथराइज करते हैं। ऑनरशिप जो है कभी भी ट्रस्ट से ट्रांसफर नहीं होती। इवन जो किसी ट्रस्ट जब बनाया गया तो उसमें तो ये पहला क्लॉज था, फंडामेंटल क्लॉज जो था उसका, कि वो ट्रस्ट भी इसको ट्रांसफर नहीं कर सकता है।
जी जी नहीं, पर आपको नहीं लगता, कुछ लोग कहते हैं कि बहुत समय निकल गया और अब 2023 में ये केस दोबारा से उठाया गया।
ठाकुर जी की संपत्ति नाबालिग संपत्ति होती है, माइनर संपत्ति बोली जाती है। और हम ये कहते हैं कि जब जो है जिसको आप कहते हैं उन्होंने नहीं किया, उनको ही अब राइट नहीं है ट्रांसफर करने का, तो किसने किया उसका वो असर ही कोई नहीं है उसका।
तो ट्रस्ट ने बहुत देरी नहीं कर दी इसको?
नहीं, जब मैं कहता हूँ जब ट्रस्टों को असर ही नहीं है, मैं आपसे बार बार कहूंगा कोई सामने बात करे, चाहे वो खसरा हो, चाहे खेवट हो, चाहे खतौनी हो, चाहे म्युनिसिपल रिकॉर्ड हो, इवन ईदगाह समेत जो परसर जिन पे अवैध कब्जा है उसका टैक्स भी जनरल ट्रस्ट दे रहा है। भले ही वो रह रहे हैं लेकिन मालिकियत के खाने में आज भी नाम कृष्ण हुए ट्रस्ट गई है। तो यदि उन पर कोई राइट होता तो अब तक वो 60 साल तक चुप बैठे रहते क्या? देखिए इशू ये था जब धर्म संसद हुई विज्ञान भवन दिल्ली में 84 में विष्णु ने पहली धर्म संसद बुलाई, तो ये था कि लगभग 30,000 स्थान ऐसे हैं जहाँ पहले मंदिर थे, आज भी मस्जिद खड़ी हुई है। 3,000 स्थान ऐसे तीर्थों पे यहाँ जो पहले मंदिर थे, तो हम ना 30,000 की बात कर रहे हैं न हम 3,000 की बात कर रहे। अयोध्या, मथुरा, काशी, राम कृष्ण शिव, इनको हटा दें तो हिंदू समाज पर कोई बचता ही नहीं है। ये मंदिर का विषय नहीं है, ये कृष्ण जन्मभूमि है, वह राम जन्मभूमि थी। ये मंदिर भव्य स्मारक इसका विषय नहीं है, ये है भूमि, और भूमि परिवर्तन नहीं हो सकती। ये आइडेंटिटी है, ये अस्मिता है हिंदू समाज की, उससे कभी कोई नकार, और किसी को राइट भी नहीं नकारने का। जी अच्छा हो समय का ये बहुत बड़ा संकेत है अयोध्या। अच्छा ये हो कि वो जो है स्वार्थ का परिचय दे और अवैध कब्जा ना हटा ले, तो उनको धन्यवाद भी दिया जाएगा। और अयोध्या में दूसरी मस्जिद पर मना कर रहा है क्या?
Let's try and talk to people in the twin cities of Mathura and Vrindavan. What do they think about the movements that are once again gaining pace? I'm at one very popular eatery shop. ये अयोध्या के बाद अब काशी और मथुरा के कोर्ट केसेस भी चल रहे हैं, तो आपको क्या लगता है कि इन केसेस में भी कुछ समाधान हो पाएगा?
होना चाहिए, जब मोदी है होना चाहिए।
अच्छा
होगा।
कुछ लोग कहते हैं कि अब अयोध्या हो गया है, अब काशी मथुरा की बात करने की क्या जरूरत है? तो
देखिए हिस्ट्री में जो हुआ है उसको करेक्ट करने की बहुत ज़रूरत है। हिस्ट्री छुपाई नहीं जा सकती, जितना दबाया जाए उतना ही वो उभर के आएगी।
तो आपको लगता है कि कोर्ट से ही होगा इसका समाधान, या कुछ आपस में भी सहमति हो सकती है?
देखिए एक डेमोक्रेटिक कंट्री में कोर्ट ही फैसला लेगा, गवर्नमेंट फैसला नहीं लेगी, कोर्ट के थ्रू ही होगा जो भी होगा।
तो इलेक्शन में ये मुद्दा है, आपको लगता है होना चाहिए?
देखिए इलेक्शन में ये मुद्दा किसी काम का नहीं रहेगा। आज की डेट के अंदर हर इंसान को एक ईमानदार सरकार चाहिए। अगर जो ईमानदार होगा चाहे वो किसी भी पार्टी से रहेगा, वो जीतेगा।
योगी और मोदी जी की श्रद्धा और भक्ति रंग तो जरूर लाएगी। अच्छा। आज नहीं तो कल लाएगी।
आपको यकीन है?
बिल्कुल यकीन है।
ऐसा
कभी भी श्रद्धा और भक्ति कभी भी ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि रंग ना लाए।
आप अगर इतिहास खोल के देखें तो जब भारत आज़ाद हुआ है तो भारत की आज़ादी में मुस्लिम लोगों का भी बहुत बड़ा योगदान रहा है। वो लोग भी क्रांतिकारी रहे हैं, फांसी पे वो लोग भी झूले हैं। तो इसका तात्पर्य ये नहीं है कि आप मुस्लिम विशेष से है क्या इस चीज़ को जोड़ रहे हो। मुस्लिमों की जगह जो मुस्लिमों को दी जाए, हिंदुओं की जगह वो हिंदुओं को दी जाए।
आपका एक सवाल था कि सरकार पे विश्वास है या कोर्ट पे। सरकार पे कोर्ट पे विश्वास है, बट उससे ज्यादा विश्वास सरकार पे है। सरकारें आई है गई है, बट आज तक किसी में दम नहीं हुआ ये मुद्दा उठाने का।
हाँ, तो यही बात हो रही है। अब जैसे अयोध्या में भी एक्सकवेशन हुआ था, अब मथुरा में भी, काशी में भी उसकी बात हो रही है, सर्वे की बात हो रही है। आपको लगता है सच्चाई उसी से सामने आएगी?
जी जी, सर्वे होना चाहिए। ऐसे तो कोई भी कुछ भी बोल देगा हमारा है हमारा है, जब तक प्रूफ नहीं आएगा तब तक तो कैसे पता लगेगा ना।
सर्वे की बात करेंगे तो कोर्ट पे पूरा विश्वास है, जो उनका फैसला होगा वो बिल्कुल तहे दिल से हम स्वीकार करेंगे, चाहे वो किसी के भी पक्ष में हो।
श्री कृष्ण जय श्री राम।
There is no denying that the sentiment of the public is associated with this issue, which also has its own intrinsic politics attached to it. But regardless of the politics, the public feels that these are movements, these are fights that have been long ongoing, and they will not rest at least until the three most important sites of Ayodhya, Kashi and Mathura are decided. With camera person Chintan Devpuri and Vikas Rawat in Mathura, Shivani Gupta, CNN News 18.
Viewers, what a day it's been. Within hours of the NDA government notifying the rules to operationalize the CAA, spontaneous celebrations have broken out in Rajasthan, Bengal, Assam. Here, mostly Hindus who fled Islamist terrorism from Pakistan and Bangladesh, as you can see on your screens, are now hoping to become equal stakeholders, viewers. Equal stakeholders in Indian society by being conferred citizenship. For too long, viewers, they have existed as pariahs. As pariahs thanks to the discrimination that has been meted out to them because they are not taught to be Indian enough. Citizenship status will of course allow these people who have been living in a purgatory to get jobs in the formal economy and access welfare benefits thus far denied to them. Viewers, they will become confident, most importantly, participatory members of our society. Their children will get access to government schools and healthcare, and most importantly, viewers, they will get dignity. What really helps their cause is that the new rules notified on Monday have been further relaxed. Now, instead of passports and other statutory documents like residential permits, quote, any document, unquote, will be treated as acceptable proof to establish their country of origin. Any document, viewers. Certificate from local body member enough to prove date of entry and most importantly to ensure that local authorities don't act arbitrarily under political pressure. Viewers, as you can see on your screens in just a few seconds, these relaxed rules mean that there will be much less pressure on these refugees to prove that they were the victims of Islamist extremism, bigotry and discrimination. Viewers, to ensure that local authorities don't act arbitrarily under political pressure, a central panel, not a district collector, will handle applications. Many a times, viewers, many a times, locals don't want these individuals to integrate into society. Viewers, especially if these individuals happen to be in minority-dominated areas in India. And there are plenty of those on the Bangladesh border, viewers. So Hindus who have been fleeing persecution from there will be really treated with contempt. And that has been the case. Viewers, what all this means really is that every Indian should be accepting the CAA. But the notification of CAA rules will has led to an unfortunate pushback from a number of opposition ruled states. There, the ruling parties are vowing to not implement the CAA in their state as they claim it is violative of the right to equality, as it denies Muslim refugees equality before the law in India. Who are these chief ministers? Pinarayi Vijayan, Kerala Chief Minister, says CAA treats Muslim minorities as second-class citizens. Viewers, he makes no distinction between Indian and foreign. He almost assumes as if the CAA will rob Indian Muslims of their citizenship. Viewers, this is a misreading of the law. Mr. Vijayan goes on to say Kerala stands united against communal and divisive law, and therefore we will not implement it in our state. In neighboring Tamil Nadu, MK Stalin, again the chief minister of that state, says BJP's divisive agenda has been weaponized. Beacon of humanity, now a tool of discrimination. Viewers, the law, the constitution, Mr. MK Stalin is referring to. The BJP has betrayed Muslims and Sri Lankan Tamils. Tamil Nadu government has taken a stand against the CAA. Mamata Banerjee, viewers, so West Bengal, the chief minister there is no place for CAA in West Bengal. BJP's political instigation before elections, she calls it, viewers, an instigation before elections. The law was passed by Parliament in 2019. There were no elections then, at least not to any constituencies in West Bengal. Arvind Kejriwal, the Delhi Chief Minister, member of the AAP, founder in fact of the AAP, he says, and I quote, whole nation opposes implementation of the CAA. The whole nation, he says, viewers. BJP is creating a vote bank out of foreigners. Viewers, we all forget, and perhaps some need to be reminded, that for years altogether, opposition parties in certain borderline states of our country have been turning illegals into vote banks by giving them citizenry or documents that establish their citizenry. But the opposition political parties who have been swayed by a number of activists and Muslim organizations to block the CAA in their states may not have the legal right to do so, viewers. In fact, the CAA, and here are some more hard facts. And remember, viewers, I always bring you these hard facts so that you get closer to the truth. What these state governments are not telling you, viewers, these opposition-ruled state governments, is that the Citizenship Act has been implemented under the union list of the 7th schedule of the Constitution. Now, viewers, that means that the states cannot legislate. They can do nothing. Unless and until, of course, they declare themselves independent of the union. That's the only way, viewers, they can block the CAA. Only Parliament can make and amend union list laws. Article 246 gives sole jurisdiction to Parliament. States can't refuse to implement citizenship laws. States can't override laws passed as per the union list. States' refusal to implement citizenship laws is legally untenable, viewers. This is what the facts say. The BJP has slammed the opposition of fear-mongering over the CAA. Union Home Minister Amit Shah has said that the opposition is in denial over Islamist hate and doesn't want to acknowledge the existence of persecuted Hindus for the fear of upsetting Muslim groups who claim that they in turn are victims of Islamophobia here in our country. So what Mr. Shah is saying is that these state governments don't want to bring an equation between refugee Hindus, Sikhs, Christians and Muslims living here who claim that they are being discriminated against. Shah claims that opposition relies on minority votes in prioritizing their interests even at the cost of denying refugees from Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh a legal shield against Islamist bigotry. Are they right, viewers? Are they right? Let's go straight across